Everybody's having a great day. Good practice today. Really good intensity. Really, I got a little bit more team situations. Tried to really push physicality with some team run situations. I thought our defense did a great job. In those positions, really did a nice job running the football. Clogging up run lanes, and I thought it was a really nice response. The offense has had a couple good days with the scrimmage and there on Tuesday. It was good to see the defense respond. It was you also got some situations and a little bit of variance, and we had a series or two just working through. You trying to put the guys to have to think and work the sequences of what we're doing. I thought the communication's getting better. I'm excited about your Saturday with our second scrimmage coming up. Really seeing some great growth, across all phases. But I'm excited about the response we're seeing from this team and how they're approaching meetings, what they're doing, their mindset, in practice. We're continuing to push and train them, just go out there in every rep and be their best. And they're trying to create as much adversity as possible, just so we have an opportunity to show the response of who we're going to be, what we're going to be about. Truly, like I said at the beginning of spring ball, I mean, the objective is to start to build up and showcase that identity day after day after day. And the physicality, the toughness, the response is something that's critical. But I definitely see this team coming together and embracing that strain and embracing the way we're going about it. So I thought it was a good day. It sets us up. We'll have meetings tomorrow, and then another scrimmage comes Saturday morning. So looking forward to it.
First question will be Irish Bell.
Hey, Coach, with you guys just kind of being past halfway through the spring, is there a barometer or a measure of, okay, this is where we wanted to be or where we want to be? Do you approach it that way at all? And if you do, where do you feel like you guys are at?
It's one of those things that, you try to see the daily growth and, coming into spring practice, a lot of new faces, some guys that, were extremely young last year that have done a great job in the off season and their development. So you just want to see guys, showcase where they are, but then also on the flip side of it, the investment in getting better every day and bringing that mindset to the physicality, the effort, just continue to work on being more disciplined with your fundamentals. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that type of growth, which is something that excites me. To try to say after 8 practices we should look like this. I was pleased in our first scrimmage, some of the things discipline wise that we were able to show. I see guys that are working hard to apply the fundamentals, especially early. But the thing that I'm looking for is, when you get 50, 60, 70 plays into a game, when your body might be sore, you might be tired at the end of a drive, are you able to rely on those fundamentals, those techniques, to be able to create the power and the advantages that we need in the moment? And so I like the mindset of the team, but we have to continue to push every day and just go out there and work to be our best. And I see guys, making that choice, and I'm excited about even guys that when they have a lapse in it, to see their teammates really try to pull them and push them together to get that done.
This will be Brendan Sinone from Most 247.
Mike, I was hoping to get an update on a couple players. Dontae Lucas being one. It seemed like he got a little banged up during the scrimmage last week. Not sure if he'll be available for this week's scrimmage. And then is there any update or status on Emmett Rice?
And Dontae is practiced this week, so he's good. He'll be available. Emmett, you went down the other day. Obviously, we're looking, going through the process of evaluating exactly where that's at. We'll probably be out for a little while. Probably an extended period, but we're still going to wait to just to get all that before we I guess talk about what that looks like.
Next will be Gene Williams.
Coach, you mentioned you guys were able to do some situational work today. I'm just curious specifically what kind of situations do you work on in these, and any standouts, anything that jumped out at you today from those?
Today was, we had a couple of different set periods. We worked our 2-point, basically a 2-point competition. Same thing. We started off the scrimmage last week. Basically we call it 7-shot. Just trying to have that competitive edge there at the beginning of practice. One of the things that we worked on. At the beginning of practice, which we'll do throughout the rest of spring and fall, is we worked our ball security circuit with defensive players, and we worked our tackling circuit with our offensive players. Just really trying to build upon those fundamentals. That's going to show up in special teams. It's going to show up in a lot of different areas. Defensively, when we get our hands on the ball, we want to make sure that we're keeping it, and offensively, guys, the impact of what they're going to be able to do in special teams. Make sure we're working on the fundamentals to tackle. I thought that was good work today. We had 3rd down and long situations, 4th down. 4th down situations. It was one of our competitive drills today. And then we also worked to backed up, working coming off the 2-yard line, offensively, just trying to put together those sequence plays and kind of running that together. So it was a good mix. We try to change up every day the different areas of focus, and just forcing our guys to have that type of awareness of where they are on the field, what's the situation, and then what do we need to do to apply the fundamentals that situations are calling for.
When we talked to Tate the other day, he mentioned that you guys are using a different football this spring, at least. I was just wondering, we've had a few people ask us, like, what goes into those decisions? What options do you have, and what's different about this football?
There's a couple different balls that are made, and that are. So for our quarterbacks, we try to go each year just to explore. We'll get them together collectively as a group to look at the options that we can choose from. And, if they make a decision, I really don't, care too much about it. I'm not the one that has to go out there and throw it, but they get together with that, and they come and basically make the final decision. I've done that every year, that I've coached, and there's a handful of options of what we can use, and our guys make the choice on that.
Coach, I'm curious, going into your second scrimmage, do you base what you want to do in that scrimmage, what you saw in the first one, in terms of there's certain things, hey, we need to work on this aspect, or do you have a pre-planned schedule going from the beginning? We're doing this one, this, or basically what's your approach coming into Saturday scrimmage?
As you guys saw on Saturday last week, it was scripted in the sense of where we were starting, regardless of what happened on the drive. This is, I wanted to see the ball in certain places. I wanted to have these situations that we put guys in. One of the things that we'll do Saturday is, kind of let it flow basically for a half, just to, wherever the ball is, and whatever the situation calls for it at the end of a drive, that's where we'll start the next drive. And, we'll go through it basically, like I said, for a half. We'll have some special teams, situational periods that will work. And then, at the end of it, there will be some scripted situations that I want to make sure that we get. So I want, the biggest thing is just trying to build in the knowledge of what guys are being asked to do. It's a building block of, being able to tell them at the front end of it, this is what you can expect. This is what, but then, as the game goes and you have the ebbs and flows of it, that, for guys to take ownership in that. And that's part of the building blocks of spring ball of, building that awareness, and seeing guys, really buying into what we ask them to do for those situations that are going to show up.
When you've talked about Kentron a little bit this spring, and kind of seen him respond to some adversity early in camp. And then Kenny said that you guys know what you guys know what Kentron can do when the ball's coming his way, or when he's got to make a play on the ball, but it's other things that you want to see from him. What are some of those things? Is it just blocking, or what are some of the other things he's need to improve on?
It's just the consistency of, play in and play out. I think Tron has shown, a high level of ability, especially, his size, speed combination, the ball skills that he possesses. But, it's just really putting it all together, making sure that the details of route depths, the releases, finishing plays. And that's one of the things that we challenged him with, even early in spring ball. He would have an extraordinary play, and then the next play, you might lose focus on bringing the ball in, in that situation. But I thought Saturday was a really good moment for him, to be transparent. The first 2 plays that he was in, he had a kind of a mental lapse, and you had a bust in his first 2 plays, which is never how you want to start off a scrimmage. And I made sure that he knew that. But it was good to see him respond, and I thought he did some really good things, throughout the back half of it. That even though it wasn't how he wanted to start, he was able to stay focused, to continue to go out there and make plays, and put a couple really nice plays there on film. And so just for him, it's just that constant, the consistency and the constant growth. But I think he's got a great future in front of him, and really excited about the development we're seeing. But it's really just all aspects of his game coming together in a consistent manner. And I think he's got a chance to be a really good football player.
Go back to Brendan.
Mike, you've mentioned Stephen Dix Jr.'s name a couple times in the past week or so. I guess from the time he got here last spring to now, what's been the biggest area of growth that you've seen from him?
I think his confidence and understanding of where to be, how to, where he needs to fit, the tempoing of playing linebacker within this system. And, he is a big physical young man. He's extremely sharp. He puts in the time that it takes, and you just see that confidence starting to show up. And he made a couple plays in the scrimmage, made really good plays throughout the course of this week, where you're starting to see the light just flash. And I mean, the tempo and speed of what he's playing with is better than at any point that he showed here this last year. And that's part of growing up. I mean, you get thrown into college football as a true freshman, you start Mike linebacker. There's going to be a little bit of a learning curve that comes with that. But he never batted an eye. He just kept showing up every day to get better. And you see the work of the off season. Just with his flexibility and speed that he's put on film. But once again, it's just as with him, another young player, just building upon the consistency, play in, play out. But excited about what he's doing.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.